Newshorn TV. I am Lindo Koza, and these are your top stories this hour. An American physician and immunologist who is the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, Dr. Anthony Fauci, has come out to warn senators about the spreading of COVID-19 if the country opens up too soon.
Randomized trial.
The first congressional hearing of the coronavirus era brought little good news.
There is a real risk that you will trigger an outbreak that you may not be able to control.
With witnesses appearing from their homes, senators press them on what it will take to reopen a nation with the highest number of cases and deaths in the world.
Staying at home indefinitely is not the solution to this pandemic.
The experts warned repeatedly about the risks of relaxing measures too quickly and suggested the official death toll of more than 80,000 is likely missing the true scale of the pandemic.
I think you are correct that the number is likely higher. I don't know exactly what percent higher, but almost certainly it's higher.
One Republican senator who contracted the virus himself cast doubt on those words of caution.
I don't think you're the end all. I don't think you're the one person that gets to make a decision.
I have never made myself out to be the end all and only voice in this. I'm a scientist, a physician, and a public health official. I give advice according to the best scientific evidence.
The head of the Centers for Disease Control said the U.S. needs to increase contact tracing by 5 to 10-fold to prevent future outbreaks. There were warnings that a vaccine won't be ready if children are sent back to school in the fall, a worry as cases of a mysterious inflammatory illness linked to COVID-19 rise in young people.
We have met the moment, and we have prevailed.
All of it contradicts the message delivered by President Donald Trump just 24 hours earlier, as he touted the increase in testing in the U.S.
I find our testing record nothing to celebrate whatsoever.
23,000 refugees flee to neighboring Niger in the recent weeks because of extreme violence unleashed on the citizens in Nigeria. The most vulnerable are women and children.
Geneva, violence in northwest Nigeria has forced about 23,000 refugees to flee to Niger since April and raised concerns about the deteriorating security situation, the United Nations Refugee Agency said on Tuesday. The numbers fleeing to neighboring Niger have almost tripled from last year when the agency reported the first influx of 20,000 people following an insurgency and banditry in northern Nigeria which killed hundreds and displaced thousands. The latest influx of mostly women and children came after attacks by gunmen in Nigeria's Katsina, Sokoto and Zamfara states during April. The deadliest attack claimed 47 lives in Katsina state, the agency said, prompting airstrikes by Nigerian security forces already stretched tackling a decade-long insurgency by Islamist group Boko Haram in the northeast. We are working closely with authorities in Niger to relocate at least 7,000 refugees to safety, where water, food, shelter, access to health and other essential assistance can be provided, UNHCR spokesman Babar Balak told a media briefing. Discussions are also ongoing with the authorities to recognize on a prima facie basis the refugees fleeing Nigeria and arriving in the region, he said. Nigeria closed all land borders in March to curb the spread of the coronavirus pandemic, which has infected over 4,600 people in the country with 150 deaths. It first shut parts of its borders last year to fight smuggling, but people could still cross both ways. The agency said refugees from Nigeria are being allowed to seek protection in Niger despite border closures, with people in need of food, shelter and basic services including healthcare. Balak said around 19,000 Niger nationals have been displaced in their own country as they fled, fearing insecurity in border areas. The refugees are found in Niger's southern Maradi region, the agency said. Many have also been caught up in clashes blamed on farmers and herders over dwindling land in Nigeria, which have killed more people than the Boko Haram conflict. Reporting by Stephanie Nebe, writing by Chiji Akawoka, editing by Ed Osmond.
We're coming back with your more top stories after this short ad break.
Are you looking for an excuse just to jet off to a faraway land and explore the other side of the world? And you're asking yourself, what are the chances for a normal South African citizen like you to study overseas? Well, Worry no more, because Rutgers is the answer you've been searching for. Not one, not two, not three, but 20 of the Russian state universities invites you to select from over 500 medical, engineering, technical, economics, and humanitarian specialties. Obtain your bachelor's degrees, master's degree, or postgraduate education overseas now with Rutgers. All you need to do is visit www.edurussia.ru or visit our offices in Son Park at number 4 De Villa Street, Nelspruit 1200. And no, it doesn't stop just there. It gets even better. Still under Rutgers, if you would like to study at a different country like the United States of America, the United Kingdom, India, or United Arab Emirates, then Destiny International Education Center is the way to go. To learn more about DIC, visit www.dicsa.org.za or call the number on screen. It's simple.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. Welcome back. And on other news, we have an Australian police who have charged a man with a decades-old murder of gay US student in Sydney. The body of Scott Johnson, who was 27 years, was found at a beach cliff in 1988. Police said that it was a suicide.
The door opens on a new homophobic chapter in Australian history. And out comes Scott White, charged with murdering Scott Johnson 32 years ago.
He just said, I've got 2 detectives on my case about a murder that happened in the 80s. And I said, okay, but I didn't do it. I said, okay.
The 49-year-old was arrested at his home, forced to leave his dog with neighbours.
It was felt a bit uneasy, to be honest.
Scott Johnson plunged to his death from a cliff near Manly in December 1988. For a long time it was deemed a suicide, but his family believed the 27-year-old was a victim of a gay hate crime. A third coronial inquest confirmed that to be true, and now a breakthrough on Sydney's lower North Shore.
We'll have some champagne. It's cause for celebration. It's an honour to Scott.
Delivering the news, the police commissioner says, was the highlight of his career. Scott Johnson was among dozens of men killed simply for being gay in Sydney at the end of last century. After initially bungling the investigation, police are now taking no chances, conducting an extensive search of the old crime scene here at North Head to ensure no evidence is missed. 3 hours uncovered nothing new, but scenes like these are positive signs for the gay community.
We've been through hell, as have their families. And, you know, we're really hopeful that in the future they can be resolved.
Getting a conviction is what's in front of us.
But a world of pain remains for Scott Johnson's family, still waiting for justice. Mark Reddy, ABC News, Sydney.
In Nigeria, Nigeria's Anti-Corruption Agency and Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arrested 2 Chinese nationals for allegedly offering a $250,000 bribe in local currency to one of its senators. The alleged bribe was said to be an attempt to scuttle an investigation into multi-million-dollar corruption allegations that involve a Chinese construction company in Nigeria.
This man caught paying EFCC officers 50 million bribe. But the suspects were arrested on Monday, May 11th, after paying 50 million to an EFCC officer. And the name is Manga Winger Kwan, and there's Manga Winger Kwan, and there's Zukoi. They were arrested. There's the 2 persons that were arrested on Monday, May 11, 2020 by the EFCC, and the Economic and Financial Crime Commission has arrested 2 Chinese nationals who offered a 100 million bribe to a team that was investigating their company. Okay, the head of the EFCC Sokoto Zona office, Abubakar Lawal, said Mang Wei Kong and Zaku of China, Zanku in the Zanko Nigeria Limited company, tried to bribe him and his team to stop an investigation into the company's operation. The two were arrested on Monday, May 11, 2020, after paying half of the promised 100 million bribe. The sum of 50 million, 3 laptops, 5 smartphones, and some relevant documents were seized during the arrest. During the media parade of the suspect on Tuesday, May 12th, Lawal said the suspect company was being investigated for alleged offenses of conspiracy, abuse of office, misappropriation, diverse of public funds, and money laundering. Lawal said on May 7, 2020, it was contacted by Chinese. So they, according to the investigation that is ongoing against their company, I and my investigating team were offered the sum of 100 million naira for this case. 4 days after the series of discussion, it was agreed that I come for half of the money, which was ready at their office residence along Port Harcourt Road, Kwasarawa, Sokoto, in a well-coordinated operation with a team of operatives. Mr. Mangui and Mr. Zokyo were arrested while giving the bribe to me, the above address. Lawal said China Zonku Nigeria Limited is under investigation in a connection with the execution of a contract for the construction of Township Road in Kumi, Bukayon, Anchor, and Nasarawa towns of Zamfara State, and also the construction of 165 solar.
Those were your top stories this hour. I am Lindo Koza. Do make sure that you follow us on our social media platforms. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, and on Instagram. Make sure that you join us for our every news.